So good morning, I am Jonathan Pishner with Apex Counseling, and today for my 10-minute presentation, what I wanted to do was just give you guys some direct value through some of the work that I do. So I'm going to talk some about love relationships, ways people can improve them. And the reason I beat the love relationship drum every single time that I have the opportunity to do so is because when you're in a love relationship, the health of that relationship directly predicts the physical health of both partners, including how often you get sick, whether you develop chronic conditions, and how early you die. So the health of your love relationship is absolutely essential. So you'll hear me beat this drum every single time I have the opportunity. So, brief history. One of the things about love relationships, the reason we now have a ton of effort going into teaching people the skills for that is because 150 years ago, 200 years ago, you didn't need skills to make a love relationship work because it was a survival partnership. If the husband didn't do his job, the family died. If the wife didn't do her job, the family died. It doesn't take any skill at all to make a love relationship work under those circumstances. See, now we've got the nice Facebook, smartphone society. That couple on the right, they actually have to have skills to make their relationship work because we've solved the survival problems. If one person doesn't do their job, it doesn't matter if you're completely homeless, you have access to food, water, and shelter in America. So it is important for people to be able to learn the skills. The skill I'm going to teach you guys about today is strokes. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this before. So the idea of strokes is whenever we have an interaction, it's either positive, negative, or neutral. Now, between love partners, that is really important because for your basically functional love relationship, your positive to negative stroke interaction has to be 5-to-1 bare minimum. The brain remembers negative interactions far more than it remembers the positive. So that means for you to even have a decent love relationship, it's 5-to-1. For one that's really healthy and is ideal, that needs to be closer to 10-to-1. A lot of couples come in, and they'll have 1-to-1 positive negative interactions. Some couples are even completely upside down and have more like 1-to-3. Those can't work very long and remain healthy. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what strokes are. And the beautiful thing about knowing how to utilize strokes in your love relationship, you can use this to improve the health of your love relationship, and your partner doesn't even have to know anything about it because it will work even if you're the only one doing it unless the relationship is completely abusive and toxic. If it is a love relationship that can work, this will work. So, positive strokes. Your big level 3 positive strokes. That's, let me take you on a beach vacation. That's, let me buy you a car, take you on a cruise. The things you do once every 6 months, year, 5 years if you're not paying attention. But it's the big stuff. These count for a fair bit, but they don't count as much as people think they do because a lot of people that deliver this stroke, they want to live off of it for the next 9 to 12 months and think that that's all they got to do. Huge strokes are great, but they don't count for as much as you wish they would. Your level 2 positive strokes, those are the things you can do once every few weeks, once a month, depending on how busy you are. This is date night. This is, let me take you out to the movies. This is, let me buy you a gift you've been kind of looking at. Good positive strokes to deliver with some regularity, but still not the thing you want to focus on. If you're going to focus on really upping your stroke game, it's going to be the level 1 and the little half strokes. Because this is the stuff you do daily. This is, let me get you a cup of coffee. This is making sure to smile at your partner. You would be surprised how often that is overlooked and missed. That is brushing them as you walk by and lovingly touching them. The place where everybody misses if they are not doing their stroke game well is they are missing the small ones, the dailies. And men are especially bad about this. If we're going to gender stereotype, men are terrible about this because we are hunters, man. We love to bring home the big kill. Here is your beach vacation. I'm good for the next 3 years. That is not how that works. And I'm not immune to it. Given the opportunity, I would do that too. If I didn't know how to do this stuff, I would miss my daily strokes too. where you get all of your big gains is making sure to do the little tiny stuff every day. If you wanted to do one right this second, if you're like, oh shoot, my stroke game sucks, take out your smartphone, pull up your love partner, type in a heart emoji, and click send. Congratulations, you just got yourself a half stroke. Your ratio is slightly better for the day. Let's talk about the negatives though. See, negative strokes suck because they're the ones you can deliver accidentally. You have to be intentional to deliver a positive stroke. You can accidentally deliver negative strokes all day long and not even notice. This is when you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it. You know, hey, yeah, sure, I'll pick up that thing from the store on my way home. Get home, you don't have it. You just collected yourself a level 2 negative stroke right there. Not because you even meant to. You weren't trying to be mean. You just let other stuff get in your head. This is when your spouse, says something nice to you and you don't acknowledge or smile back. This is when you forget birthdays, anniversaries. So you can collect an awful lot of negative strokes just from inattentiveness. That's where most people kill their stroke game. Also, anytime you got to tell somebody to change their behavior, even if it's deserved, it's still a negative stroke. That's why you notice the stroke ratio isn't 5 to 0, 10 to 0. You will deliver negative strokes. You cannot avoid it. So you got to save it up. You can't tell your partner to do stuff different every day. You can't tell them what they're doing wrong every day, because what you are doing is you are killing your stroke ratio. Now, the nice thing about that is, here is how you can do this. Here's how you can utilize this and make it work for you. What will happen is, actually no, let's do an example. I bet everybody in this room has been given a Christmas gift and you didn't have something for that person. They surprised you with it. And I bet you felt like crap. I know I do when that happens. The reason that happens is because we sense now a relationship imbalance. We sense that something got out of balance, and when that happens in your love relationship, you can sense it too. The thing that will happen if you are the only person working on strokes, as you get your ratio better, your partner will sense that imbalance, because they'll start to get the sense of, wait, this person's doing more and more nice stuff for me. I'm behind. They may not sense it on a purely conscious level. You couldn't maybe quiz them and ask that, but somewhere inside they'll sense it. There's only 3 ways to solve that. They can solve it by leaving. Pretty unlikely if somebody's being nice to you. They can solve it by trying to get you to quit. Also unlikely. Or they can solve it by delivering more positive strokes to you. That's the only 3 ways to solve that problem. And the only one that makes any sense, the only one somebody's naturally going to arrive at is, oh wow, they are being so nice to me, I have got to be nicer to them. Now, one important thing, mixed strokes. You got to avoid this at all costs. I'm going to give one example of a mixed stroke, and I could give a 10-minute talk just on this. Hopefully it'll be clear enough to understand. So, a good example of a mixed stroke. We're struggling with money maybe, and I decide I'm going to give my wife that beach vacation. Well now, I got my positive stroke, but I also gave an awful lot of negative in there, because now I have assisted her in upping her anxiety, because now I've spent a lot of money we didn't have. So not only am I not getting credit for my positive stroke, I've collected a negative one on top of it. So that's like 5 levels of stroke swing. I think I'm getting something great, and instead I'm delivering a big negative stroke. So when a person's upping their stroke game, avoiding mixed strokes is absolutely essential. You've got to make sure to keep them purely on the positive. Now I know I'm saying this stuff like it's all simple. Like, oh man, just get more positive strokes, and that's easy. If you're not used to doing this stuff on the daily, this is actually pretty complicated for a lot of people. People overthink, people, get it wrong. So, if you forget everything else, literally everything that I told you today, remember this part. You're shooting for minimum 5-to-1 ratio, preferably 10-to-1. You're trying to reduce negative strokes as far as you can, and you're trying to increase the positives as far as you possibly can. Do all those 3 things, and you can improve your love relationship without even talking about it. So I appreciate you guys listening. I hope that was valuable for you, and I will be glad to take as many questions as they will let me take, but I know I'm pretty much out of time. So you guys tell me if I have time. Nope. Okay. There it is. Thank you.